Hello and welcome to the weekend edition of National Focus. I'm your presenter, Tarnia Green. It's always a pleasure to have you join us. Among the major developments, computers donated to schools from concerned Dominicans based in the United States. Plant quarantine calls for the public to adhere to strict importation rules regarding agricultural produce, and Dominica and Costa Rica sign ecotourism agreement. Stay with us as I bring you the details of these and other stories when National Focus returns.
You're watching GIS.
Welcome back. Time now for the details of the news. Dominican-born, U.S.-based businessman Hendrix Ishmael is contributing to the development of his homeland. Earlier this week, the businessman made a contribution of 430 computers, 30 laptops, and 20 printers to the government of Dominica to be installed in schools across the island. The Maho Primary and the Campbell Primary Schools on Thursday were presented with a number of refurbished desktop computers sourced from Dell by a group of concerned Dominicans residing in the United States. Hendrix Ishmael of Maho and his wife, who are now in Dominica on vacation, were instrumental in getting a number of desktops, laptops, and computers to be distributed to the schools island-wide. In making the presentation to the Maho School, Ishmael spoke about the many benefits that the age of computers has brought to our society. Ishmael says the use of computers at school has become necessary in this changing technological world. In addition to the desktop computers, Ishmael also presented each child at the Maho School with a school bag and stationery items. He's delighted that he is able to make such a necessary and valuable contribution to the Maho Primary School.
Computer literacy is fundamental at the college, high school, and even primary levels. Those who lack this ability are disadvantaged. For example, students can no longer perform efficiently with just pen and paper. Handwritten assignments, no matter how neat, are no longer the standard at learning institutions across the globe. Unfortunately, not all of Dominican students have the access needed to compete in the arena. That's why my wife and I have decided to donate 400 desktop, 30 laptops, 12 printers, and we're now today going to give the kids here some good news. We have one school bag with school supplies for every kid at the Maho Primary School.
Parliamentary representative for the Maho constituency, Honorable Rayburn Blackmore, said thanks on behalf of the constituency.
And I really want to say thank you very much to you, sir. And your presence here demonstrates your commitment not only to the country, but to the people of Maho. And what better way to demonstrate that and to put your trust and your confidence in our greatest legacy.
The Maho MP encouraged the students to take care of the computers and use them wisely.
We have to ensure that we demonstrate a sense of ownership to what is given to us today. And how do we do that, therefore? We do that by ensuring that we take care of the computers and we use the computers for what they are meant for. And the teachers have to ensure that the children are properly supervised so that they won't be using the computer for the wrong things. Because computer in itself, we're in an information age, but we can use the computer to do the wrong things. The computers are there is to enhance your education and to make you brighter and better students.
The little ones at the Maho Primary School expressed thanks in song. Meanwhile, over at the Campbell Primary School, Ishmael presented the principal of the school with 5 computers. He encouraged the students to aspire to be successful.
This is a resource that you all should cherish and take care of like it's yours. It's going to really, propel you into the 21st century, because without technology, we can't really go. So I am here to assist and help in whatever small way I can. And I hope you will become the next Bill Gates or Barack Obama, or the next Scarrett or Mr. Blackmore. So you all kids here, if you all work hard, you could be anything you want to be in life. You could become one of the greatest businessmen or women, and no matter where you go, come back and give back to the society that made you, because without Maho, without Dominica, there will be no Ishmael.
The principal of the Campbell Primary School is confident that the computers will assist in making learning much easier and fun.
Special thank you to Mr. Ismail for donating those computers to us. We wanted computers for a very long time, and here it is. We have them at our doorsteps. We can use these computers to transform the lives of the children. They can do their research. The teachers we can do additional extended practice with the children on the computer. We'll never forget you, Mr. Ismail.
Parliamentary representative for the Maho constituency, Honorable Rayburn Blackmore, echoed similar sentiments as he did at the Maho Primary School. Honorable Blackmore encouraged the teachers and students of the Campbell Primary School to put the computers to proper use.
I'm confident, therefore, that your principal and your teachers will guide you in the process to make sure that they make maximum use of those computers, ensuring that they're being used or they are going to be used for the right thing. We live in an information age, and of course, we need the tools to enable you to succeed. And of course, having a computer will allow you to seek the right information and to enrich yourself insofar as knowledge and information is concerned.
Meanwhile, earlier this week, 100 computers was presented to the Dominica State College.
In this new era of knowledge economy, Dominica students were kind of lacking behind simply because of the limited numbers of IT equipment available to them. Mr. Ishmael heard our plea. He approached Dell Computers in Delaware and purchased from them 400 remodeled and refurbished computers for Dominica. He indicated to us that 100 of those computers are designated from the Dominica State College, the other 300 to the government of Dominica for distribution to schools across the country.
Ishmael also addressed students of the college on Tuesday. He explained the reasons for making the presentation.
Very often, I listen to our people within the diaspora complain about Dominica and all of the things that we should be doing in Dominica. When we add the rhetoric all over the talk shows, we realize that our country is a country of talkers, not doers. And as a Dominican, I decided to say little and become a doer by making a donation to my country.
Parliamentary Secretary in the Prime Minister's office, Honorable Kelva Daru, says government continues to pay attention to the IT needs of the island's youth.
ICT is a very important tool towards the advancement of your learning. And that is why this donation will go a long way, so that more of you here at the State College can have access to computers and can have access to the internet. But let me remind you that while information and technology can be a very important and vital tool, it can also be used in a destructive manner. And I want to exhort you, the students of the State College, that whenever you use the computer, let it be for a useful purpose.
The balance of the computer source will be presented to other schools across the country. The computers were procured at a cost of $95,000 US. The plant quarantine unit of the Ministry of Agriculture is making a strong appeal to the general public to adhere to the strict requirements for the importation of agricultural produce and products into the island as a means of keeping away exotic pests. Over the last decade, Dominica, as most of the Caribbean region, has seen the rapid introduction of exotic pests and diseases, including the black sigatoka, which has impacted negatively on the country's agricultural sector. Ryan Ansem of the Plant Quarantine Unit is calling on all those involved to cooperate with the laws as it relates to importation of agricultural produce, as non-compliance can result in significant economic losses for Dominica.
These diseases, as I always say, cannot buy an airline ticket to fly to our shores. It has to take someone bringing an infested material to Dominica for this disease to enter. So we are urging and we are appealing to the general public to refrain from bringing any planting material, any agricultural produce product without the permission, without the import permit given by the Ministry of Agriculture, the Plant Quarantine Department. These diseases sometimes come without natural control. These pests come without natural enemies and can cause serious economic problems to our agriculture and to our country.
The general public has been asked to contact the Plant Quarantine Unit before any planting material is imported into the country.
We urging people to contact the Plant Quarantine Unit before importing any planting material. You can contact us at 266-3803 or go on the government website and send us an email. You can get the application for import permit on the government website. So please work with us, and the sole purpose is for us to maintain our agricultural sector, prevent pest and disease from entering, and that farmers can be productive in their fields, and that can allow us to maintain our food security and to export for economic earnings. We are also urging the farmers to continue the fight against black sigatoka. Black sigatoka is a serious disease, and I want everybody in Dominica to take the necessary management strategy very serious to manage black sigatoka, because if we don't do the things right and we don't do it on time, black sigatoka will wipe up the banana and plantain subsector. The farmers, the hucksters, we are telling you, do not move leafing materials, do not move the trash from one area to another. This is a risky activity. You can spread the disease to an uninfested area. So we are also asking the farmers to go out in the field on a weekly basis to de-leaf and to ensure that they take all the management strategy for us to control black sigatoka.
The Plant Quarantine Unit is currently reviewing the Plant Protection Act of 1986 to include invasive species which are not currently part of the legislation. In other news, Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit would like to see more young people involved in national development. The Dominica leader made the call during an address to students of the Dominica State College on Tuesday.
I would like to see more of our young people engage themselves in national development. When issues come up about Dominica's development, where you would like to see Dominica be taken, you have to be counted in terms of being able to bring forward ideas and suggestions. Because notwithstanding the fact that you're a student, you have an equal role to play in Dominica's development.
Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit has defended the implementation of the CARICOM Court of Justice. The Dominica leader addressed members of the local media last week amidst criticisms of the regional court system from some circles.
I have listened to some of the criticisms, and to be quite honest, some of the concerns raised by people are not profound concerns. Issue of political interference is a non-issue. And whether we are ready as a region to have our own court kind of be an issue, because we've been talking in this country, in this world, this Caribbean, for so many decades about the need for us to be independent, or we're sovereign and we want independence from Britain, all of these things. And when we create institutions for ourselves, we have issues with them. I mean, we created the University of West Indies for ourselves, and people had issues with it back then. Is the University of West Indies making a meaningful contribution to our development? The answer is an emphatic yes. Without the University of West Indies, many of our young people, particularly in our pre-independence period, would never see a university. The University of West Indies has given us that cornerstone in terms of our economic and social development. And we believe that the CCJ is eminently placed to provide that level of leadership and guidance.
Prime Minister Skerrit believes that the CCJ will have major benefits for the people of the region.
What the CCJ has started to do is to take the courts to people. And in the present matter involving the Jamaican lady who's taken the government of Barbados to court, the court now is going to Jamaica because there are witnesses in Jamaica who would not have the ability to pay their fares and hotel to come to Trinidad to the court. The court is going to Jamaica. And therefore, the administration and access of justice is enhanced. If we're talking about enhanced access to justice, what are some of the actions we must take to allow it to happen? If you were to ask me, I would say the creation of the CCJ was for that particular purpose.
And Dominica's Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit has called on world leaders to find creative ways to deal with climate change and diseases. The Prime Minister made the call when he addressed the inauguration ceremony of the Pan-American Health Organization's new director, Dr. Carissa Etienne, on Thursday. The Prime Minister used the occasion to make the call in the presence of the representative for the United Nations Secretary General, Ban Ki-moon. He said, and I quote, "Certain diseases have shown that they are particularly susceptible to climate change. Melting polar ice causes sea levels to rise, resulting in severe floods, dangerous hurricanes, and a list of other environmental disruptions that adversely affect human life," the Prime Minister said. He said presently, throughout the Caribbean, the rise in temperature is accelerating the metabolic rate of insects, particularly mosquitoes, carrying malaria and dengue fever. He said latest research have shown that the adult mosquito is emerging in 5 to 7 days, where it once took 10 to 12 days, spreading parasites and viruses, and in the process killing people or making them very ill. The Dominican leader noted that in his country, Dominica, which has a gross domestic product that has been continually diminished by hurricanes, has struggled to rebuild itself after every hurricane season. He noted that Dominica knows too well the devastating effects of raging storms. Prime Minister Skerrit said further that the economic cost associated with dealing with these problems for small and economically disadvantaged small states has been steadily rising and has added to the burdens of their survival. Prime Minister Skerrit also expressed his delight when he heard President Barack Obama restore the consequences of climate change to his agenda during the president's inaugural address last month. In more news, a 6-member delegation from the Republic of Costa Rica, headed by His Excellency Enrique Castillo, Minister of Foreign Affairs, and comprising Costa Rica's Minister for Agriculture and senior government officials from the Ministries of Foreign Affairs and Tourism, ended a visit to Dominica on Thursday this week. During the visit, a meeting was held with a Dominican delegation headed by Honorable Dr. Colin McIntyre, the Minister for Employment, Trade, Industry and Diaspora Affairs, to discuss other possible areas of cooperation between the two countries. Discussions surrounded topics such as agriculture, human resource development, and the development of Dominica's biodiversity. Honorable Ian Douglas, Minister for Tourism and Legal Affairs, His Excellency Damian Dublin, Dominica's Ambassador to Costa Rica, and senior government officials from various ministries formed part of the delegation. The meeting also explored the possibility of establishing a formal arrangement that would strengthen ties between the two countries. Dominica established diplomatic relations with Costa Rica in May of 2001. And finally, this news time, Dominica and Costa Rica this week signed a memorandum of understanding on cooperation in ecotourism. The new cooperation agreement was signed earlier this week. The cooperation agreement will establish a framework for collaboration between Dominica and Costa Rica in the areas of capacity building, the provision of technical assistance, organization of field exchange visits in tourism, in particular ecotourism. And after serving as Venezuelan ambassador to Dominica for 12 years, Ambassador Carmen Martinez de Grijalba will end her service to Dominica next week. On Thursday evening, the Venezuelan Institute held a surprise farewell concert in her honor. Some of the ambassador's favorite groups and individuals, including the Venezuelan Quattro group headed by Tyson Johnson, the Cicero Singers, Calypsonian Derek de Hunter Senrose, Dominica's Lady of Song, Mrs. Ophelia Marie, and Cultural Officer Gregory Rabes performed at that concert. Dominica's ambassador to Venezuela, Dr. Philbert Aaron, thanked the ambassador for her exemplary work done in Dominica over the past 12 years. He especially thanked her for her role in Dominica joining the Petro-Carib Pact and being part of the ALBA. Dr. Aaron said Ambassador Martinez de Grijalba was instrumental in strengthening the relationship between Dominica and Venezuela. Dominica's Chief Cultural Officer Raymond Lawrence also commended and thanked Ambassador Martinez for her numerous contributions towards the cultural division. An official government farewell reception has been planned for Ambassador Carmen Martinez de Grijalba on Monday next week. And that's the English segment of the news. McPherson, St. Luce is up next with the Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à ces nouvelles en créole. Non, moi, c'est McPherson, St. Luce. Premièrement, Dominicien Dr. Carissa Etienne s'est monté pour un travail conducté par le GIS Dominica. Dr. Etienne électé pour grande position cela hors des pays américains le 19 septembre l'année passée. Dr. Etienne commencé le travail aujourd'hui, le 1er février 2013, quand on placé Dr. Muta Roses Piriago hors Argentina. Dr. Etienne a un degré en médecine et puis a fait l'opération Southway Surgery hors University of the West Indies et puis degré hors London School of Hygiene. Et une grande cérémonie prend place à Washington, D.C. jeudi où là, Dr. Etienne s'est maté. Premier ministre Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt attendait l'inauguration là. Honorable Skerritt complimenté Dr. Etienne à ses positions nefli et puis souhaiter bon succès. Nous ici en service information gouvernement GIS car aussi souhaité Dr. Etienne bon succès. En notre nouvelle, travail qui prend place bien formidable assis un pont qui est bien nécessaire en Good Hope. Gouvernement Dominique a dépensé l'argent pour financer le projet cela. Député chairman Village Council Good Hope Mariette Laurent, car oui, monsieur gouvernement Dominique pour le projet cela.
Moi, je dis merci pour le gouvernement et puis par le plat, puis c'est une nécessité pour nous tenir pont à la fête. Avant de faire pont, de garder, nous besoin pont en piste, la pluie te tomber piste. Et si on place, la pluie tombe, nous cani falma, nous cani joindre capoter autant d'eau et là porter autant d'eau, il capoter autant ça nous créer débris et toute l'air il cani boucher col vote là et puis gloire que passer à sous pont et empêcher moun qui a été à sous d'autre côté à monter un village là. So gouvernement ouais c'est une nécessité et yo décidé pour yo faire pont en bas nous et nous bien contents puis c'est une raison il a puis là yo que mettez nous que ça monter descendre enfants nous que ça passer nous même que ça passer elle là que ça passer nous on est content il a fait et nous dit merci chez nous bas gouvernement
pour projet ça là.
Oui pour projet ça là.
En d'autres nouvelles, travail qui prend place pour augmenter basketball hardcourt en grand fond. Membre parlement Honorable Ivor Stevenson visité le projet là la semaine passée.
Basketball hardcourt là c'est ça. C'est une année passée nous bas Village Council l'argent pour mettre clé dans les basketball court là. Il était déjà éclaté déjà mais ça il pas de calimé. So nous taper l'autre clété et puis nous taper des l'autre pouce, l'autre domlek. Nous avons mis ces domlek pour travailler bano et puis tout de suite ça nous besoin ouvertement c'est pour yo connecter et puis domlek pour nous qui une clété dans le basketball court là. Et puis à sous côté basketball court là c'est un autre accès chemin ça on calme mener nous dans le new playing field là. Et puis ça c'est ça même ça là nous avons fait ça ensemble et puis project playing field là actuellement nous avons travail à commencer.
Et puis finalement le gouvernement Dominique a bâti un gros miroir à Chimé en Good Hope. Membre parlement Honorable Johnson Drago visité le projet là pour voir le développement qui a pris place.
Nous avons fait un retaining wall. Les attendez là et si nous live qu'on tourne et puis live était pour la moitié Chimé. Ça c'est un projet à nous demandé gouvernement pour faire banou et puis gouvernement a regardé pour l'argent pour faire banou. Et puis c'est l'argent ça nous a servi ici à McPherson. C'est même l'argent nous a servi à ce projet par massacre Maroyo là. C'est même l'argent ça a sorti. Là on a fait ces wall là. So nous a fait wall ça ici Mike on a ce projet à pas projet ça. Et nous content que monsieur Michel Benjamin un contracteur qui a employé à présent qu'on a parlé à 10 moun éveil et puis qui a employé d'autres moun projet ça qui point à 5 pour 6 semaines pour ça fini et puis c'est pas projet nous a fait pour nous ça remplacer Chimé casser pour souffrir quantité que la coutume. Ce projet ça est comme phase ça c'est une autre phase un projet ça et puis comme on a toujours dit chaque phase nous les différents contracteurs parce que nous les ouais qui tout nom qui contracteur en area taper travail pour faire. So nous avons 6 projets là par section et puis nous avons différents projets pour ça faire projet ça bon ici à Maïko.
Messieurs mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelles en créole pour à présent. Non, moi c'est McPherson Luce. Ni un bon week-end.
We now join Pearl Fountain for this week's edition of Flashback.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Flashback. In the headlines this week, an action plan to deal with emergencies in the tourism sector is being developed. A one-week crisis management seminar was facilitated by the Caribbean Tourism Organization. The Dominica Association of Persons with Disabilities launched their calendar of activities in celebration of its 30th anniversary. Work continues on the rehabilitation of the Grand Fort Road. The project is expected to be completed by the end of April this year. Government concluded salary negotiations this week with the Dominica Association of Teachers and the Police Welfare Association. Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt urged Dominica's youth this week to take advantage of educational opportunities. Young women from the Silver Lake community graduated with cosmetology skills this week, and the government embarked on a national program to improve playing fields across the island. Several village councils were given funds by government to complete outstanding works. The community of Pirit-Savan was just one of several communities to benefit from government's latest initiative. Russia's new ambassador to Dominica presented his letters of credence to Dominica's head of state on Wednesday. And the Dominica Art and Craft Producers Association and the Dominica Manufacturers Association will host a Buy Dominica Carnival extravaganza from February 6th to the 10th at the Roseau Market. The 10th European Development Fund, which seeks to support the deepening of OECS integration and boost export competitiveness, was officially launched in Dominica on Wednesday. And Dominica's Dr. Carissa Etienne was sworn in as Director of the Pan American Health Organization. That was a quick look at the headlines for this week. Back to you, Tarnia.
Thank you, Pearl. Coming up next, the tip of the day. Heart disease tops the list of health problems that lead to early death for men and women. Reduce your risk with a diet rich in fruit, vegetables, and low-fat foods, and at least 30 minutes of exercise most days of the week. Healthy habits and a healthy weight can lead to a healthy heart. And that's National Focus. We welcome your suggestions and your comments. Please feel free to drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or you can visit our website at news.gov.dm. Friend us on our Facebook page and be sure to like our GIS Dominica fan page. You can also catch up on the past national GIS focus programs on our GIS Dominica YouTube page. On behalf of the entire news production team, I'm your presenter, Tarnia Green. Thank you so much for watching and have yourselves a wonderful weekend.